Good morning to all and welcome to the session, the Hindu Editorial Analysis for Proficiency in English. Before we go to the analysis, let us start with the question, what is the enrichment from today's session? As usual, you will improve your comprehension skill. And today I have brought a new approach. For each word, I'll be presenting the meaning, the synonyms, the antonyms, and example. That may take a lot of time. Vocabulary from one word, you may get 10 words. That means I have brought about 12 words. 100 plus words you're going to get. No second thoughts about that. And grammar consolidation. Effective English, we use regularly a particular idiom, and today, because a new approach, let us see if time permits, I get enough time or not for mini mocks. Let us start with the question, what is this editorial about? This editorial is about the recent decision by the Supreme Court of India regarding the use of electronic voting machines and the voter verifiable paper audit trail system in elections. If you remember last week also I did a similar editorial all about the electronic voting machines along with those voter verifiable paper audit trail system. What is the tone of the editorial? The tone of the editorial is informative and analytical. Informative and analytical. But last time also we got more or less the same information. New dimension. Now you have to listen very carefully. This is a new approach. Each word, I have brought about 12 words. Each word, one slide for one word. Each word I'll be talking about the meaning, the synonyms, the antonyms, and example sentence. What is the very first word? Impair. Impair, part of speech verb. It's a regular verb. RV means a regular verb. What is the meaning? To weaken, damage, or diminish in quality or strength. It goes more with quality or strength. What are the synonyms? Here, meaning, then synonyms. Damage, harm, weaken, undermine, deteriorate. Again, some of these words are easy, some are important. I will highlight the important words from the exam point of view. At any cost, you have to remember undermine, deteriorate, and antonyms improve, enhance, strengthen, bolster, fortify. Again, we have three words you have to remember enhance, bolster, fortify. Look at the example sentence. The lack of sleep can impair cognitive function, means your thinking ability, and decision making abilities. This is what I call, in a way, word profile to not completely, but to a great extent. The second word, trail. Trail also we have got many a time. Part of speech, noun. Trial is different, trail is different. Immediately you have to recollect two words. One is a trial, in this context, trail. Trial goes with a case, court, a different word altogether, but you have to recollect. Meaning, a path or track made by the passage of people or animals, made by either people intentionally or animals. Synonyms, path, track, route, pathway. Antonyms, lead, guide, direct, blaze. Not exactly antonyms in a way. Trajectory also you have to recollect. But all these words are easy words except one word, blaze. Example sentence, the hikers. Sometimes students ask me, sir, what is the difference between hiking and trekking? Hiking and trekking, what is the difference? Hiking, long walks in lowland areas. On the other hand, trekking in the mountain region, that is a difference. The hikers followed the trail through the dense forest, enjoying the sights and sounds of nature. Followed the trail, that's a typical verb you have to remember. The next word, lacuna, an important word, part of speech, noun. Meaning, an unfulfilled space or gap. Generally, lacuna, we say gap, vacuum, a missing part or element. Synonyms, gap, hiatus, blank, interval, void. You can also think of the word vacuum. Trial, trail, both are different. Antonyms. One is trial, another one trail. Here, antonyms, continuity, coherence, an important word. Coherence means unity, one unit. It goes with a writing skill. When you write, there should be coherence, means smooth and logical flow of sentences or unity in your writing. Lacunae, lacunas, either way. Yes, Sundari. And connection, completeness. But here only one word is important, that is this one. And here, hiatus, I doubt, but important word, do remember. Example, the lacuna in the historical record left historians puzzled about the events of that era. Integrity, an important word, part of speech noun. Quite often we talk about national integrity, meaning the quality of being honest, ethical, and morally upright, adherence to moral and ethical principles. There's one important expression you have to know. He is a man of integrity. He is a man of integrity. Means what? He is a man of values or ethics. Here, ethics, morals, all these are important. Adherence to stick to. And we have one idiom, an important idiom. Above board. Above board also means honest. And you have to recollect exam point of view, common error. A lot of people say he is a honest man. Wrong. H sound is silent. He is an honest man. Nowadays they're asking this one. Not a honest, an honest. Virtues and vices. Very good, Naidu Paidi. Good qualities, virtues. Bad qualities, vices. Synonyms: honesty, honor, virtue, righteousness, probity. All these words are very important. Virtues, and vices. Honesty, simple word. Antonyms: dishonesty, deceit, an important word. Corruption, deceitfulness, noun form. Immorality, simple words. Candid has a different meaning. Candid means a frank. That's a different word. Example sentence: his integrity is unquestionable. He always acts with honesty and fairness in all his dealings. Very important example. One has to be like that. Reiterate, I use this quite often, part of speech verb. It is a regular verb, meaning to say or do something again, typically for emphasis or clarity. Many a time you say something, that means you are trying to reiterate. Synonyms: repeat, iterate, echo, reaffirm, restate. All these words are familiar words, but you have to remember this one. Antonyms: retract, recant, this is an important word, rescind, an important word, and also all these words are very important. Revoke, reverse, a simple word. Example sentence: I need to reiterate the importance of punctuality for this project. It is crucial that everyone arrives on time for the meeting. You have to recollect two important phrases. One is in time. In time means what? Before time. What is the other one? On time. On time means what? Exact time. In time, on time. He is always in time. Huh. Repose, another important word, part of speech verb, and a regular verb. What is a regular verb? Takes a D or ED. Any verb that does not take D or ED, irregular verb. Repose, reposed, reposed. Part of meaning to rest or lie in a comfortable position. You can also say, we'll see the synonyms. Synonyms: rest, relax, recline, lounge, unwind. Generally, it goes with a rest, that is a word. Reclining seats, you all know nowadays we use. and launch also you familiar word. Antonyms: exertion, activity, simple word. Agitation, it goes more with anger. Unrest, commotion. Commotion is an important word. Noisy disturbance, we use the word commotion. Exertion goes more with getting stressed out. But whatever the word with the star mark is very important, do remember. Example sentence: after a long day of work, she found solace. Solace is an important word. Means what solace means? Comfort. In the peaceful repose of her favorite armchair, rest in the armchair, she got comfort. She felt very comfortable. Regressive, an important word, part of speech adjective, meaning tending to return to a previous or less advanced state. More than previous, less advanced state, because re has a negative connotation. Becoming less developed or less progressive. Synonyms: backward, retrograde. This is an important word you have to remember. Retro, going back. Degenerative, another important word. Declining, another important word. Progressive, retrogressive. Very good. Another important word. All these words you have to spend time and they should be at your fingertips. Antonyms: progressive, forward looking, advanced, evolving, innovative. All familiar words. Example sentence: the country's regressive policies, means going back to a less advanced state, were causing concern among economists as they were hindering its economic growth. Hinder, hinder, you have to recollect a lot of words. Hindrance, what is the noun form? Hindrance. Hindrance, you should also recollect. Impediments, hurdles, blocks, bottlenecks. All these words we have got many a time. I'm doing very slowly and I'm doing in a proper way so that today it is like experimental. I want to know how long it takes this approach. From Monday, we can fix how to go about. Negate, another important word, it's a regular verb, meaning to nullify, deny the existence or truth of something, to make ineffective or invalid. Nullify is an important word. And here you have to recollect to make something null and void, no longer valid. Bottleneck also, exactly. Synonyms: nullify, annul. This is also important because we have another two important words. One is chronicles and annals. Here, sorry, annals, the A, not U. But here, what is the spelling? Annals. These two are synonyms. Invalidate, cancel out, counteract. But important word, these two words are very important. Nullify, annul. Antonym: affirm, important word. Validate, familiar word, easy word. Support, bolster, strengthen. Already we have got that word. Example sentence: adding sugar to the dish will negate the bitterness of the lemon, creating a balanced flavor. Means nullify the bitterness of the lemon. Vulnerabilities: vulnerable, adjective. Vulnerabilities, noun. Meaning weakness or susceptibilities that make someone or something prone to harm, attack, or damage, likely to be attacked. Synonyms: weaknesses, susceptibilities is also an important word. Frailties, frailties, an important word. Frail means in a way weak, weak position. Deficiencies, susceptibilities. Antonyms: strengths, robust. Robust means strong. Robustness, noun form. Resilience, we have got many a time. You all should have that resilient nature. Invulnerability, defenses. Simple words. Example sentence: the cyber security expert identified several vulnerabilities in the company's network that needed to be addressed to prevent potential data breaches. Breach here means a crack, typical meaning, and violation of something. Breach of contract, breach of agreement. Indispensable, I use quite often, part of speech adjective. Absolutely necessary or essential. Indispensable means essential, cannot be done without. Synonyms: essential, necessary, crucial, vital, integral. Familiar words. Antonyms: indispensable. What is opposite? Dispensable, optional, unnecessary, non essential, expendable. And example sentence: in a fast paced environment, time management skills are indispensable for success, obviously. Break the law. Watchdog, this is the last word. Then we can go to the analysis. A person or group that acts as a guardian or protector, especially in monitoring and overseeing activities to ensure they are carried out fairly, ethically, or within established guidelines, or you can also think of the word traditions. Generally, we use this watchdog of culture. If you go to villages, elderly people, watchdogs of culture, also of traditions. These are the combinations you have to know. Synonyms: guardian, overseer, monitor, sentinel, an important word. Custodian, also an important word. Antonyms: offender, wrongdoer, lawbreaker, delinquent, an important word. Delinquent, adjective. Delinquency, noun. Based on that, sometimes you may get in the exam, they have given a few times as a passage, a particular concept. Juvenile delinquency. Delinquency means a crime. Juvenile delinquency means what? Crime committed by young people, adolescents, teenage people. Juvenile delinquency, an important topic. One has to have some sort of awareness about juvenile delinquency. Means crime committed by adolescents, teenage boys and girls. We don't have that problem in our country, fortunately. Example: the media serves as a watchdog, obviously. Media as a watchdog, keeping the public informed about the potential abuses of power by government officials. Abuse is an important word. It has three different meanings, but in this context, it means misuse, one. Another meaning, shout at someone using foul language, bad language. Third one, ill treat someone. The stepmother abused a child, a typical combination you have to know. It has taken exactly 19 minutes. That's a lot of time. How does it start? Now, I don't think I will be able to do the editorial, a complete analysis. Till 8, whatever I can, I will. Trust in machines on the Supreme Court and the EVM. It is about the Supreme Court trusting the electronic voting machines. It's all about that. But what is the main idea of this editorial? It is reassuring, means gives a nice feeling, reassure, to make someone feel confident. It is reassuring that the Supreme Court of India found nothing to impair, nothing to damage faith in EVMs. That means we can go ahead with the EVMs, nothing wrong with the electronic voting machines. That's the main idea. The Supreme Court of India's rejection of the demand for 100% verification of paper trail left by the votes cast to electronic voting machines comes as no surprise, as there is no hard evidence that the current verification system suffers from any irremediable lacuna. What does it mean? The Supreme Court has rejected 100% verification of a paper trail left by the votes. Reason being, it hasn't found any lacuna or vacuum or gaps when it comes to this particular system, current verification system. Remedy means a solution. The two concurring judgments of the bench reiterate the faith the judiciary so far has reposed, present perfect, in the integrity of the electoral process, especially after the introduction of the voter verifiable paper audit trail. Last time also I did one, last week I think, one editorial regarding this. Voter verifiable paper audit trail, or VVPAT. In the process, the bench also rejected the idea of reverting to paper ballots. Going back to paper ballots, it rejected, as such a measure would indeed be regressive and negate the gains from the elimination of vulnerabilities associated with paper ballots. Because paper ballots had some vulnerabilities, we had to reject that, and we had gone in for electronic voting machines. Now, keeping electronic voting machines aside and reverting back is not correct. Reverting to paper ballots is regressive, and it will negate the gains from the elimination of the paper ballot. This is not the first time that the court has declined, present perfect, to interfere with the system in place. What is the system in place? Electronic voting machines and VVPATs or VPATs. It had earlier refused to order 50% verification of the paper trail in one case and 100% verification in another. Refused. Court has been refusing. Only 5%. Last time I told you guys. And I think 15 booths. The court has utilized this petition to review the administrative and technical safeguards in the system and found nothing to impair its faith in it, nothing to damage or weaken its faith in the system. Everything is in place, everything is flawless. The two directions given by the court address the other serious apprehensions. Apprehension means a fear that something bad may happen, that the symbol loading units, they found something a little disturbing when it comes to two things. One, the symbol loading units be secured and kept in safe custody for 45 days after declaration of results, and that the top two losing candidates could seek a verification of the microcontrollers in 5% of the EVMs in specified polling booths so that tampering, if any, may be detected. First one is the symbol loading units be secured and kept in safe custody for 45 days after declaration of results. And the second one, the top two losing candidates could seek a verification of the microcontrollers in 5%, not completely, 5% of the EVMs in specified polling booths so that tampering means manipulating, if any, may be detected. In a 2013 ruling, the Supreme Court held that a paper trail is an indispensable requirement of free and fair elections. Paper trail is an indispensable, essential requirement of free and fair elections. In another case, it favored the increase in the number of polling stations in which VPAT verification would be done from one per assembly constituency or segment to five. Remember last week I did this. From one to they have taken that to five. The introduction of a paper audit trail, VPATs, itself was in response to apprehensions that voters had no way of ascertaining if their votes were recorded correctly. Why did they introduce this VVPATs? Because the voter had no way of ascertaining if their votes were recorded correctly. But the second system will confirm that because they get a printout and it is there in the box and it is displayed on screen for a few seconds. It is somewhat paradoxical. Paradoxical, another important word you have to know. Means what? Two things happen at the same time, positive and negative. What is ironical here? It is somewhat ironical that the verification system put in place to address such fears itself has become a bone of contention. Remember, I said we have two idioms. One is this one we use regularly, bone of contention. One, and what is the other one? Same meaning. All our students know. Apple of discord means both idioms mean what? Cause of dispute. Bone of contention as to the extent to which the paper trail has to be verified. To remove the apprehensions, this has been brought. Now, this has become the bone of contention. That is the irony. Justice Sanjeev Khanna, in his opinion, has recorded suggestions that VVPAT or VPAT slips may be counted through machines and that symbols loaded in the VPAT units may be bar-coded for easy counting in future. This is a new suggestion. This is a suggestion which may make an impact. They may implement in future. What is the first one? Whatever slips fall in the box, and Justice Sanjeev Khanna, in his opinion, has recorded suggestions that VPAT slips may be counted through machines, not manually. Now they're doing manually, they can do it through machines, one thing. And that symbols loaded in the VPAT units may be bar-coded for easy counting in future. It ought to be clear that ought to be, we have got after many days, many weeks, ought to has become outdated in Western countries. Being used here, ought to, should both mean the same. Old English, informal English, they would use should, formal English, ought to. What is a function, a similar function? To advise or suggest. And should has another function, possibility, chances are less. But here, informal and this one, formal. Now they stopped using ought to. Formal or informal, they started using should. Ought to be clear that such technological advancement alone can make the process suspicion proof. With these barcoding and machines counting the slips, definitely technological advancement and all the suspicion can be removed, then it becomes suspicion proof. A larger point, how does the editorial end? A little not acceptable for the election commission. A larger point to be made is that the apprehensions, the fears, and suspicions, doubts of possible manipulation indicate a level of mistrust. Not this one, the last sentence. A larger point to be made is that the apprehensions and suspicions of possible manipulation indicate a level of mistrust in the Election Commission of India not seen in the past. All this shows some sort of apprehension, doubt regarding the Election Commission of India. Based on that, voter confidence in the system of voting and counting is one thing. But the need for the election watchdog, means the election commission, to be seen as impartial is quite another. There are two things here. One is looking at election, the system of voting and counting. That is one thing. But the other thing, doubting the election commission, election watchdog, the election commission, the need for the election commission to be seen as impartial is quite another. Both are very important. Second one is more important because the public trust in the election commission very important. Otherwise, the purpose is defeated. I'm glad I could complete in 28 minutes. Join me at 7, but today don't join because it took so much time to bring the words with those synonyms, antonyms. This every word one slide. Today also no mocks. From Monday, regular mocks. Don't join at 7:30. Please do remember, have a nice weekend. Do remember to subscribe and share. And